Hello and welcome. Today we are going to have a very honest conversation about something that every single leader, every founder, and every human being deals with. We are talking about fear. But I don't mean the fear you feel when a car swerves into your lane. I'm not talking about the adrenaline rush that saves your life in an emergency. I'm talking about a much heavier, much quieter kind of fear. I'm talking about the fear that stops you from picking up the phone. The fear that keeps you staring at a ceiling fan at 3 a.m. The fear that convinces you that no matter what you do, it won't make a difference. In the framework of energy leadership, we call this level 1 energy. It is the lowest vibration of energy we can experience, but it is also one of the most common. If you have ever felt stuck, drained, or paralyzed in your business, you weren't lazy. You were experiencing level 1. For the next few minutes, we are going to dissect this energy. We are going to look at where it comes from, why it shows up, and most importantly, we are going to uncover the hidden reason why we sometimes choose to stay there. Let's look at level 1 and define the core thought of apathy. So let's get technical for a moment. What is level 1 energy? In our coaching framework, every energy level creates a specific lens through which we view the world. At level 1, that lens is cloudy. It is dark. The core thought, the mental narrative running in the background of your mind, is apathy. Now, be careful with that word. We usually think apathy means I don't care. But at level 1, it's not that you don't care about your business. You care deeply. You might even be desperate. The apathy of level 1 is actually the belief that it doesn't matter if you care because you are powerless to change the outcome. It is a thought process that says, why bother? Why bother calling that lead? They probably already hired someone else. Why bother setting that new standard? My team won't follow it anyway. Why bother trying to scale? The economy is going to crash. When this thought pattern takes hold, it creates a chemical reaction in your body. It drains you. This leads us to the core emotion of level 1, fear. But again, this isn't running away fear. This is freezing fear. It is the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, the fear of being exposed as a fraud. And when you combine the thought of apathy with the emotion of fear, you get the core action of level 1, lethargy. Lethargy is why you can drink 3 cups of coffee and still feel exhausted. It is why you can sit at your computer for 8 hours and get nothing done. Your battery isn't just low, it's disconnected. When you are in level 1, you are in a state of inaction. You are waiting for the storm to pass, hoping that if you just stay small enough, nothing bad will happen to you. Let's talk about the ego connection, how it's self-focused and faithless. Now, I want to go deeper into why this happens. Level 1 is what we call a catabolic energy. That means it is destructive. It breaks you down. And the root of this destruction is the ego. I know we often think of ego as being arrogant or boastful. We think of the guy beating his chest, but level 1 is actually the purest form of ego. Why? Because it is completely 100% self-focused. Think about it. When you are deep in fear, what are you thinking about? I am scared. I can't do this. What will happen to me? I am going to lose everything. It is all about I. It is all about me. When you are in level 1, your world shrinks down to the size of your own head. You lose sight of your team. You lose sight of your customers. You lose sight of your mission. The only thing that exists is your own personal safety and your own personal pain. And the tragedy of this ego focus is that it is completely severs your connection to faith. I'm not necessarily talking about religious faith, though that applies too. I am talking about self-faith, faith in the process, faith in your ability to figure things out. Level 1 is defined by having no faith. You don't believe you can succeed. You don't believe the market will support you. You don't believe you have the skills. Because you have lost that faith, you stop moving. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You fear failure, so you take no action, lethargy, which leads to failure, which proves that you are right to be afraid. It is a loop, a downward spiral. It happens entirely inside of your own mind. Let's look at the internal and unconscious. This brings me to a critical point. Most of the time, we don't know we are doing this. Level 1 energy is internal, and it is largely unconscious. You don't wake up in the morning and say, today, I would like to feel paralyzed by fear. You don't choose to be lethargic. It creeps in. It hides in the shadows of your subconscious. It might show up as procrastination. You might tell yourself, I'm just researching, or I'm just waiting for the right time. But deep down, if you look closely, that is the mask of level 1. It is internal because it's not about what's happening out there. Two people can face the exact same challenge. Let's say a key employee quits. A leader in level 5 opportunity energy sees a chance to upgrade the role. A leader in level 1 fear energy sees a disaster that proves they are a bad boss. The event is the same. The internal reaction is different. Because level 1 is unconscious, it feels like reality. It feels like the truth with a capital T. When you are in it, you genuinely believe that the situation is hopeless. You genuinely believe you are the victim of circumstance. You feel like things are happening to you rather than by you. And that feeling of being a victim, that is the hallmark of level 1. It is the belief that you have no agency, that you are a passenger in a car that is careening off a cliff, and the steering wheel has disconnected. Let's look at the hidden benefit. Now, I want you to really listen to this next part, because this is the part that makes people uncomfortable. If level 1 feels so terrible, if it drains our energy, kills our business, and makes us miserable, why do we stay there? Why do humans go to level 1 so easily? It's because there's a benefit. Every energy level serves a purpose, even the destructive ones. The hidden benefit of level 1 is this: it gets others to do things for us. Think about a child. When a child is scared or helpless or crying, what do the adults do? They rush in. They pick the child up. They solve the problem. They provide comfort. Level 1 is a cry for help. When we project lethargy and apathy, we are unconsciously signaling to the world, I can't handle this. Someone save me. In a business context, this can look like a founder who refuses to make decisions, forcing their partner or their manager to step up and take the heat. It can look like complaining about a problem so loudly and so often that someone else finally fixes it just to shut you up. It creates a dynamic of dependency. And there's a twisted kind of safety in that. If I don't try, I can't fail. If I don't make the decision, I can't be blamed for the wrong choice. If I stay in the cave, the tiger can't eat me. Level 1 is a protection mechanism. It is your ego trying to keep you safe by keeping you small. It is saying, if I play dead, maybe the threat will go away. But here is the hard truth for us as leaders. You are not a child anymore. And in business, nobody is coming to save you. Playing dead doesn't work in the marketplace. The market will just step over you and move on. So, while the benefit of having others do it for me feels safe in the short term, in the long term, it is fatal to your success. Let's look at the transformation. So now, how do we break free? How do we move from the apathy of level 1 to the anger of level 2 or the responsibility of level 3? The first step is simply awareness. You have to turn the light on. You have to stop judging yourself for feeling fear and start observing it. When you feel that heavy blanket of lethargy, instead of beating yourself up, just notice it. Say to yourself, this is level 1. I'm in a state of fear right now. By naming it, you separate yourself from it. You realize that you are not the fear. The fear is just an energy you are currently visiting. Recognize that your ego is trying to protect you. Thank it for trying to keep you safe, and then tell it that you are ready to handle this. Remind yourself that the story of hopelessness is a lie. Shift your focus from self to service. Remember, level 1 is self-focused. The fastest way out is to focus on someone else. Focus on your client. Focus on your team. Focus on the value you provide. When you serve others, fear dissipates. Action cures fear. Even the smallest step forward breaks the paralysis of lethargy. You don't need to have faith that everything will be perfect. You just need enough faith to take one single step. Fear is part of the human experience. We will never eliminate it completely. But we do not have to live there. We do not have to lead from there. You have the capacity to choose a different frequency. If you recognize yourself in this, in the description I'm talking about today, take a breath. It's okay. You're just experiencing level 1. And now that you know what it is, you have the power to change it. I'm Francis Williams. Let's raise the energy.